Ladies and gentlemen, our next speakers get the award for traveling the longest to join us for the victory dinner, all the way from Israel. Please welcome Lahav Deary and Osherit Sabag. Now, we only have 15 minutes on the clock, so this is going to be a very quick conversation, but this is going to be a very impactful conversation, and that is because both Osherit and Lahav were survivors of the atrocities on October 7th. And let me be clear about something. The Faith and Freedom Coalition, Christians and conservatives, stand wholeheartedly with the state of Israel and her people. Now, we sent out their bios. So for reference and for sake of conversation, we're not going to go into that. But Osherit was an educator before October 7th, and Lahav was a businessman. In fact, Lahav said he started his business, got the certificate of business, the business license, on October 6th. But as you know, October 7th changed the world for every Israeli. And before we get started in that conversation, we have to bring the hostages home. We have to bring the hostages home. There are still hostages held in the worst conditions. But we're going to get into this conversation. Osherit, thank you so much for coming. We're going to open with you. Just 30 seconds. What was life like before October 7th?
Okay, thank you for having me here. I'm honored to be here. Before October 7th, our communities, our region, we used to call it 95% heaven because, you know, small, well-knit communities, amazing lifestyles, amazing values. The five last percents were the ongoing attacks. My community is half a mile from the Gaza Strip border. And the amount of attacks is unbelievable, sometimes on daily basis. And it can be something that nobody gets hurt, you know, we just run to the safe room. Or it could be, you know, 1% of this can be very serious attacks, like someone from Gaza launching an anti-tank missile on our yellow school bus and a teenager gets killed, okay? So that was life in Nachal Oz, more or less.
So violence was not abnormal, but obviously what we saw on October 7th was unlike anything that we've seen since the Holocaust. Lahav, the night of October 6th, you started your business. That night, early in the morning, you went to a music festival for peace, the Nova Music Festival. What happened?
I attended the Nova Music Festival with two of my youngest brothers. I'm the oldest of five boys. And as we're leaving the party, we're speeding out of the party because of the missiles. We're in the car, and we're just heading out. And one of the drivers that picked us up, all of a sudden hit the brakes. And I lift my head to see why, and I see a pile of bodies on both sides of the road. And I see this young girl bleeding to death, and she's still breathing. And I'm reaching to grab her to the car when all of a sudden a bullet passes through the front windshield of our car, passes right between my head and my brother's head, all the way to the back. And when I lift my head to see what's going on towards the continuation of the road, I see three masked terrorists with a headband saying something written in Arabic, and they're yelling Allahu Akbar at us, and just shooting at us, aiming an RPG. And at this moment, I understood that I cannot protect my brothers. And so we got out of the car, I pushed my brother out of the car, and we started running. And as I was running, I'm calling my dad and to say goodbye. And my father could have lost 3 sons that day, in this second. But we survived. We survived to tell.
Thank you so much. Wow. Now, Lahav, we're going to stay with you. That was your experience on October 7th. Let's talk about October 8th, because Lahav is a major in the special forces of the IDF. And the very next day, after his brother was shot twice on October 7th, miraculously escaping death by just inches, but an RPG exploding next to his vehicle. And we'll send the link out after this video so you can actually watch that video of his brother miraculously being rescued. You didn't go home and cower. You went home, got your gear, and rejoined your unit and joined the fight to liberate Kibbutz Kfar Aza. Will you tell us about joining the liberation on October 8th?
This is who we are as a nation. I have a fourth brother. When I was running away with my little brothers in the Nova Music Festival, he was fighting in one of the kibbutzes in Be'eri. When he knew where we were, but his mission, along with his team, was to go and protect the women and children that were being slaughtered in kibbutz Be'eri. And I'm proud of him for going to his mission. And I'm the same. I have a mission. My mission was to go and clear Kfar Aza, and what I saw there was something that I can still smell, the taste of metallic blood, the smell of bodies standing there the whole day in the sun, going into different houses, different rooms, seeing toys, seeing rooms for children, and having this pain of understanding what happened is that you see families that couldn't protect their children. And this is a pain that I bear with me.
Thank you for sharing that. And let me just tell you, what he just described in Kfar Aza on October 8th, I saw the aftermath in November. I think it was November 12th, a month after October 7th, that I was in Kfar Aza. And that smell and that terror still permeated the town. There were still crews removing remains. It's unbelievable. Evil is real. Evil is real. And we are called to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. But we know there will be no peace in Jerusalem until Israel rids the world of that evil that they faced on October 7th. Osherit, what does Christian and American support for Israel mean to you and mean to the people of Israel?
Oh, that is a very good question. Just walking here in the room tonight showed me the amazing support that we have here. I think that it's not just something that is important to me. I think it is important to Western civilization societies, because this is not a fight between Israel and the Palestinians. This is something that is way beyond that. And if you look today at what is happening on college campuses in the United States or different places around the world, I think that this is a fight for our society's values. This is a fight for our Western civilization that our forefathers fought so hard to get for us the freedom that we right now have. And we shouldn't be taking it lightly. We should be taking it very seriously and protect it.
Israel is still facing threats from every side, the threat from Hamas, the threat from Hezbollah, and of course, the greatest threat of Iran. But let's be clear, Israel is just their first stop. We know what their ultimate destination is. They don't call Israel the little Satan and the U.S. the big Satan without purpose. They just happen to be standing in the way. Lahav, we just have a couple minutes left. Why are you willing to give up your time put your business on the line, to put your family first, and put Israel first?
Because it's not just about Israel. It's about the future of this world and the future of our children. And I think Israel is in the middle of an awakening. We've seen that now we're taking seriously not just the actions of our enemies, and so the actions of the United States enemies, but also their intentions. And when I was in Gaza, something that every soldier can tell you about, you see a lot of cartoons preaching, cartoons for kids, different educational books preaching for hate, for murder, to anyone that doesn't agree. And what I see, what I experience seeing in the news, in the media, what's going on in your campuses, in your college campuses, is just another version of it. It's people calling and trying to take your freedom from within, and don't let them.
Amen. Now, Pastor Peoples, where's Pastor Stephen Peoples at? Roopville Road Baptist Church. So on Wednesday, we're going to continue this conversation on Wednesday night at Roopville Road Baptist Church. And I invite anyone here tonight, if you would like to hear more of this conversation, please join us in Roopville. And I know right now, Moral Hearts Alliance, our friends Valerie and Dana, they sponsored 30 pastors to be in attendance. So if you are a pastor, ministry leader, lead an organization, faith-based organization, would you please rise at this time and be recognized? Mike, I know Mike Griffin, the Georgia Baptist. Paul Smith, Citizen Impact. Suzanne Guy. Aaron Hawkins. There's so many pastors, faith leaders. And those faith leaders stand unapologetically for our values. So thank you so much. And when you thank them for coming, will you please help them hear it in Tel Aviv that the Faith and Freedom Coalition stands unapologetically with Israel. Thank you for coming.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.